USS Intrepid. It sits there as well. That's an incredible tourist site, and it's a symbol of, American military power.
Oh, it just boggles my mind. And it seems to me that it's pretty clear. Again, you don't have, just because you're paranoid doesn't mean nobody's chasing you. It seems to me this is obvious payback for people in New York not wanting the trial.
Absolutely. And if it is that's a very petulant way to conduct yourself as the president and a quote-unquote presidential administration. So, there's a lot of things that really make you shake your head as far as this administration. And, when you talk about national security, this illegal immigration issue is part of our national security as well, because the Constitution talks about repelling invasions and the federal government being mandated to, protect and secure its borders. That's Article 1, Section 8 and Article 4, Section 4. And they fail to do it. And the fact that we allow the president of Mexico to come and stand at a, White House press conference and then before a joint session of Congress and shake his finger at the United States of America, that is absolutely reprehensible. And, if I was sitting there as Congressman West, I would have absolutely gotten up and walked out, because I'm not going to allow something like that to happen.
Well, no wonder you felt clearly, without inhibition, to make the statement, I can't stand Obama.
The thing is,
frankly, we can't get away with saying that because we're racist. We say that.
Well, the thing is, I can't. Well, of course, then I get told that I'm a token, a sellout, an Oreo, an Uncle Tom, and all that. But that does not bother me, because the truth is, if truth is in hate speech, then you're going to have to lock me up. But no, I cannot stand a person that really, to me, seems to have an abhorrence of his own country. You take over a bad situation with the economy, and you make it worse by, tripling or quadrupling the debt and, of course, the deficit. You're not doing the right type of policies and procedures to make sure that we're winning in Afghanistan. And I know everyone wants to sit around and say we have increased drone attacks. Well, that's not the president's responsibility. The president should not be the one up there directing drone attacks. And we don't need to have someone like Lyndon Johnson, who is directing bombing missions in Vietnam. Delegate that stuff down to the general. We look at what's happening with our legal immigration situation. I cannot stand for a president that will not enforce the rule of law, and understanding that the federal government is deficient in what they should be doing to protect the American people. And I don't know what the problem is with the people on the left to understand that the operative word is illegal, which means that you are breaking law. And we are a republic, and one of the key things about being a republic is the rule of law. And if we don't have folks, especially a president, that wants to stand for the rule of law, no, I cannot stand that. And, we continue on and look at, the situation with this oil spill that I think has been poorly mismanaged. If this were Bush in office, people would be ranting and raving. But, of course, with the anointed one and the man-child from the promised land, he's given a pass on everything. But it's just a continuing cacophony of errors and misspeaks and missteps that I see my country slipping away with the nationalizing of production, this incredible, abhorrent Obamacare bill, which is nothing but a huge tax bill. It's not going to do anything to improve the health care in the United States of America.
And
so that's why
kill many of us.
It absolutely will. In the long term, it absolutely will.
And it'll be slow and it won't be pretty.
No, it won't. But that's one of the reasons why the 112th Congress, when we get up there, we're going to first look at the means by which we will not fund the Obamacare. We will not let these taxes kick in on the American people, and then we will just seek to repeal it. Those key portions that go against the free market principles and the constitutional basis of this country.
Would you say it's fair to hold up any candidate for any office in either the House or the Senate, to hold up to them the specter of will you or will you not support when the very near future the repeal of this health care bill. It's been done before.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that's a valid question that needs to be asked of any candidate that's going in. And, one thing, I'm not big on signing pledges because, as I told people, we have to get back to a situation where, people stand on honor, integrity, and character so that their word means something. Because I've seen people sign pledges and next thing you know, it just falls asunder, just the same as the Republicans had the contract with America in 1984, and 12 years later.
We'll just
but you just need to hold them to it. And you need to say this is the expectations that we have of you. And you're right. I think that one of the critical things we have to do initially, we got to, correct our tax system, get away from this progressive tax system. I like the flat tax first and foremost. I know there's a lot of people that believe in fair tax, but I think that's the later on thing. But initially, we got to get more skin in the game. I think that we've got to do something as far as the balanced budget amendment. You cannot have the federal government believing they can continue to write checks for money they don't have because, we just saw another $250 billion they want to throw out there, which is money they don't have, when they just said that they would be part of the $1 trillion package that will rescue Greece, which is money that we don't have. So I think this, right now we've got to get people that put an end to that. I think that we need to challenge candidates on going up there and doing something about legal immigration. It is not about granting amnesty. It's not about a pathway to citizenship. First and foremost, we got to stop giving benefits to the people here illegally. We have to enforce our laws. Whenever I get stopped on a traffic incident, they ask me for my identification. So why is it that, they can't ask that question of a person and then find out that they're here illegally, and then they should have, pursuant to the right type of course of action to get that person out of this country. We need to clean out our jails because illegal immigration is a national security issue, it's an economic issue, it's a jobs issue, it's a healthcare issue, it's an education issue. As I tell people, it's this multi-headed hydra. And I think we also got to get, with all the veterans that are running, we've got to get some veterans up there to understand what's going on the ground, being in Iraq and Afghanistan, so strategically we can make the right decision.
Speaking of decisions, there is the ominous specter of building. I used the word specter twice in one interview. So
yeah, I don't know. I mean, is that your ode to Arlen Specter? I mean,
yeah. I've got specter.
You got specter on the brain.
Yeah, pretty much. I think I need to try and check up my medication, folks. Anyway. Speaking of needing more medication, we have a future that sees us having a mosque built at Ground Zero in New York. And as it happens, the people that are trying to perpetrate this atrocity on the American people are saying, oh, it isn't really wrong.
Yeah, well, I have a saying that I tell people, when tolerance becomes a one-way street, it leads to cultural suicide. And I'm sick and tired of people not understanding that the more you continue to take, or the more you continue to allow this Islamic infiltration into our country, the more you continue to lay down and allow them to have more and more and more. And understand something. They're planning on opening up this mosque on the 10th anniversary of 9/11. So,
it doesn't tell you everything you need to know.
That tells you everything you need to know. And I have nothing against Muslims. But what I do have something against is the theocratic, political, imperialistic ideology that has been masquerading as a religion since the 7th century, and that's called Islam. And I think we've got to challenge people to, reform this thing called Islam. And, the thing that I present to people on the left, they're always so fast to talk about separation of church and state when it comes to Christians. But yet they want to have this system, which is not just a religious system, it is totalitarian. It dictates every aspect of your life. But they continue to want to give it a pass. And I don't understand why.
I do, believe it or not. It took me a while, and I get it. And you say to yourself, why aren't these people coming out for